Good morning, Virgo. Conflict leaves residue in the air, even when it happens behind closed doors, even when voices are lowered, even when smiles get pasted over fury, the energy bleeds through, seeps into rooms, clings to the people involved. And you might be feeling that residue without understanding its source. Okay, Virgo, let's see. Disputes rarely erupt spontaneously. They simmer first, build pressure beneath cordial surfaces. Tensions accumulate in whispered conversations, tense exchanges, unspoken resentments finally demanding voice. And right now, that pressure could be reaching boiling point in someone's world with you at the center of it. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because you represent something, symbolize something, threaten something. What I'm picking up on is territorial energy. Someone might be defending their position, their access, their influence, and you're perceived as encroaching on that territory. Whether you're actually encroaching or simply existing in a space they want to monopolize, that distinction might not matter to them. Perception drives behavior more than reality does. And if someone perceives you as a threat, they could be mobilizing resources behind your awareness, building alliances, crafting narratives, positioning themselves as victims or heroes while casting you in roles you'd never recognize yourself in. That's how battles get fought behind backs. Hold on, let's sit with this for a moment. Here's what backstage conflicts typically involve: two or more parties arguing about you, your choices, your character, your place in a shared ecosystem. They might be debating what you deserve, what you should be allowed, whether you're trustworthy, capable, or worthy of the position or relationship or opportunity you hold, and you're not in the room where it's happening. Can't defend yourself, can't correct misrepresentations, can't offer your side or context or truth. You're being discussed, dissected, judged entirely in your absence. That violation of being made subject without agency, it's maddening when you discover it. What conversations do you suspect have been happening without you? Let me tell you what fuels behind the back battles: jealousy. Frequently, you possess or embody or have access to something others covet, and rather than addressing their envy directly, they attack your worthiness of what you have. Fear also drives these dynamics: fear of losing status, relevance, control, fear that your rise means their decline, fear that your truth exposes their facades. So they preemptively strike, attempting to diminish you before you can, in their perception, diminish them. Neither jealousy nor fear operates rationally. So, expecting reasonable behavior from threatened people is often futile. Here's what I'm also sensing: this fight might involve someone defending you. Not everyone behind closed doors is against you. There could be voices pushing back, challenging false narratives, refusing to participate in character assassination disguised as concern. And those defenders might be exhausting themselves, fighting battles you don't even know are being waged, spending energy protecting your reputation, your place, your peace. They might never tell you directly, either because they don't want to burden you or because they're handling it quietly, but their advocacy matters. and you might owe them gratitude you're unaware of. Let's talk about what makes these conflicts tremendous. It's not just volume or intensity, though those might be factors. It's the stakes. What's being contested matters deeply to the parties involved: identity, resources, power, relationships, future possibilities. When stakes are high, fights escalate, become less about the original issue and more about winning at any cost. Lines get crossed, ethics get compromised, truth becomes secondary to victory. And if you're the focus of such a fight, the collateral damage could be significant. What I'm picking up on about the aftermath, you might eventually hear echoes of this conflict, secondhand reports, leaked information, behavioral shifts in people involved that make no sense until you learn about the battle that preceded them. And those echoes might arrive distorted, passed through multiple filters, exaggerated or minimized depending on who's reporting, spun to serve agendas you can't see. Separating signal from noise becomes nearly impossible. So, what do you trust? Your direct experience, not hearsay, not interpretations, what you witness firsthand. How do you discern truth when multiple versions are being circulated? Let's see what else is here. I'm sensing that this conflict might force revelations about people's true positions. In heated moments, masks slip, genuine allegiances surface. You might discover who's actually in your corner versus who's been performing loyalty while harboring resentment or indifference. And that discovery could be painful. People you thought were solid might reveal themselves as opportunistic, while others you barely noticed might step up with fierce loyalty you didn't know existed. Crises clarify character. Always. Here's what I'm also picking up. Some of you might already sense this conflict happening. Not consciously, perhaps, but intuitively. You feel tension without being able to name it. Notice strange energy shifts. Pick up on coded language or meaningful glances exchanged over your head. That intuition is accurate. Trust those spider sense tingles. Your subconscious processes patterns your conscious mind hasn't assembled yet. If something feels off, it probably is. The question is what you do with that knowing. Confront directly is less than #0. 5# is greater than. Stay observant, extract yourself. Each situation demands different strategy. Let me tell you what often happens when backstage battles finally surface. Chaos, temporarily. Everyone scrambling to control the narrative, accusations flying, alliances fracturing or solidifying, the entire social ecosystem reorganizing around whatever got exposed. And during that chaos, your integrity matters most. Not stooping to tactics you'd normally reject, not allowing fear to compromise your values, not becoming the villain someone's trying to paint you as by actually behaving villainously. Stay grounded in your truth. Even when others abandon theirs. Here's something else I'm picking up. This fight might ultimately serve you. Not because conflict is pleasant, but because it could eliminate ambiguity, force issues into light that were festering in darkness. Create clarity about who and what deserves your continued investment. Sometimes fires burn away dead wood. Make room for healthier growth. And while you might not appreciate the flames in the moment, the cleared landscape afterward could prove valuable. Destruction precedes reconstruction. What would clarity about people's true positions allow you to release? I'm also sensing something about power dynamics at play. Whoever's fighting might be attempting to control outcomes that aren't theirs, to control decisions about your life, your relationships, your trajectory. They're debating your fate as though they have authority over it, but they don't. Only you hold that authority. And reclaiming that truth that your life is yours to direct, regardless of who's arguing about it elsewhere, is crucial. Don't hand your sovereignty to people fighting over it. Keep it. Let's talk about response strategy if this conflict spills into your awareness. Reactive defensiveness rarely serves you, neither does aggressive counterattack. What often works better is calm assertion of boundaries combined with strategic distance from the drama. You don't have to engage every provocation. Don't have to defend every accusation. Don't have to convince people determined to misunderstand you. Your energy is precious. Spend it on building rather than battling. Let your actions speak. Let results demonstrate what words can't persuade. What I'm also sensing, some of you might need to have difficult, direct conversations soon. Not with everyone involved in the backstage conflict, but with key players, clearing air, establishing boundaries, making your position unmistakably clear. Those conversations won't be comfortable, but necessary rarely is. And speaking your truth directly beats allowing distorted versions to circulate unchallenged. Prepare for discomfort. It's the price of clarity. How would you handle discovering the specifics of what's been said about you is less than #0? 5# is greater than. Here's what I want you to understand about gossip and behind the scenes battles. They reveal more about participants than subjects. Someone viciously attacking your character in private conversations is telling on themselves their insecurity, their pettiness, their inability to handle their emotions maturely. So if you learn you've been maligned, don't internalize it. Their behavior isn't commentary on your worth. It's evidence of their own internal chaos spilling outward. You happen to be a convenient target, not deserving one. Separate their dysfunction from your value. They're not the same thing. As I'm closing this reading, I want you to remember something. Tremendous fights happen around people who matter, around people who threaten status quos, around people whose very existence challenges others' comfort or complacency. If no one's talking about you, you're probably not making waves. So while being the subject of conflict isn't pleasant, it's often inevitable for anyone living authentically and powerfully. Don't shrink to avoid battles. Don't dim to make others comfortable. Don't apologize for taking up space or pursuing what's rightfully yours. Stand firm. Stay clear. Let the fights rage around you without pulling you into their chaos. Your peace is not contingent on their approval. Your path is not determined by their debates. Your worth is not established by their consensus. So let them fight. While you keep building, thank you for being here. If this resonated, share in the comments. Have you sensed conflict brewing around you? How are you maintaining your center? Battles behind your back can't touch your truth unless you let them.